Alright, let's talk about the binary gap. So you're given a positive integer n. You have to find and return the longest distance between any two adjacent one in the binary representation of n. So if there are no two adjacent one, return 0, right? So this question is just a little bit challenge. So let me just quickly draw a diagram. So this is pretty much the idea. So you have to convert the n to the binary bit. So this in this case is going to be 1 0 1 1 0, and for every single time you're going to end by 1 to check if the current bit is actually 1 or 0, right? If this is equal to 1, if this is equal to 1, I know this bit is actually 1, right? So I can making sure to compare the distance between the first and second one bit, right? So in this case, it's going to be what? It's going to be 0, right? So 0. So I know it's 0, right? I need to skip, right? So how do I skip? I'm going to shift entire bit right by 1. And this will become 1 0 1 1, right? And I'm still going to end my bit by 1. And if this is 1, right? I'm going to check for my last position. I have a last position, right? So if my last position is actually not initialized, so I will set my last position initialized by -1 first. So if my last position is actually equal to -1, so this is actually meant this is my first one in my integer n, right? So I will just making sure I put a record on it. In this case, I'm going to put a 0 1. So this is uh, the index 1, right? In this case, so last position equal to 1. Then I will move on, right? So I'll shift the entire string right by 1. So in this case, it's going to be what? 1 0 1, right? And I'm going to end 1 again. So I will get 1, right? So in this case, I know my last position is already not equal to 1. So I can actually compare this index, which is 2. The current position should be 2. So 2 minus last position should be 1. So I get 1. And so my return result should be 1 in this case. But I still have remaining bits to go on. So I just keep going. So this is actually 0. So I'm not doing anything. And I'm going to just keep shifting, shift my entire n to n right by 1. So I will get 1 and 1, and I get 1. And I know my last position was actually equal to 2, right? So in this case, it was the last position equal to 2 in this case. And my current position is what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 minus 2 equal to 2. So at the end, I'll just return 2. So I have to return the longest distance. So this is a little bit uh, not easy to do. Let me just stop holding. So okay, I'm not going to do this. So here is the solution. So I'm going to say int result equal to 0, right? And last position is equal to -1 by default. Current position is equal to 0. So while n is not equal to 0, right? And then later on I will return result, right? Just making sure I don't forget. So if n and 1 is actually equal to 1, right? I will do something. And for every single time, I will shift right by 1, right? So this is pretty much it, right? So for every current position, I will just keep increment. So this is actually the fundamental stuff, so I don't forget. And now I just have to deal with the if statement, right? If n1 is actually equal to 1, right? I need to making sure if last plus is not equal to -1, so which means I can actually set a max distance for my result, right? So that would be it, right? So if not, then I will just keep updating my last post to my current post, right? And this is pretty much it, right? So set my max distance. So I will say result equal to max result, and it's going to be current post minus last post, right? So this is the solution. and let me submit. All right, here we go. So let's talk about time and space. This is going to be space all of 1 constant, and for the time should be the bit length of n. So it's going to be all of n, but it depends on the bit. So in this case, all of 5, right? I mean, all of 5, right? The bit length is 5. You traverse what? Probably iterate 5 times in the in the n, right? So my quick note for the solution is actually time is all of n is the bit length of the n, so space is constant. And this is the solution, and I will see you next time. Bye.